You ever wake up and realize your whole life just flipped upside down before you even had your first cup of coffee? That's how this story starts. I mean, how often does someone wake up to find their police car? Yeah, a marked squad car, vanish from their own driveway. But hey, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. See, a few weeks ago, the new HOA president, Karen, of course it had to be a Karen, made the worst decision of her life. She decided to have my police cruiser towed right off my driveway in the morning while I was passed out between shifts. Her reason? She said emergency vehicles weren't allowed to park at residents' homes. Brand new rule. I guess she invented it sometime after midnight. I'm telling you, I still can't decide if it's more funny or infuriating. But the thing is, it wasn't just about a parking dispute. It was revenge. Pure and simple. I'd arrested her son, Tyler, for his third DUI a few weeks earlier. Blew a .14, nearly double the limit. Textbook stop, everything by the book. But Karen? She couldn't let it go. Suddenly I'm getting violation notices, claims my patrol car is a commercial vehicle, or that it's causing noise complaints. She even said the neighbors were scared of police presence. Like, really? My neighbors actually thanked me for parking my unit out front. You know, it kept the neighborhood honest. But Karen saw things her own way. And here's the kicker. Texas law, state statute, it literally says police take-home vehicles are exempt from HOA nonsense. I showed her. Multiple times. She didn't care. She escalated, called my captain, claimed I was harassing the neighborhood. He shut that down before she could finish her story. Next thing I know, my car's gone. Let me set the scene for you. It was a Thursday. I just finished a 10-hour shift, 3 domestics, 2 car wrecks, a burglary that still makes my head hurt. Got home after midnight, just dead tired. Parked my car in a driveway, same as always. I remember sitting on the edge of my bed, boots half off, thinking, please just let me sleep. My phone rang at 7 in the morning. Dispatch. They tell me my unit's off-grid. My brain's not even awake, but I look outside and the driveway's empty. Gone. My marked patrol car is just gone. I felt sick, like heart in my throat, kind of sick. Stolen police vehicles are no joke. So I call my captain, Mark Stevens. Guy's been with Plano PD for 22 years, doesn't put up with games. I told him the story, and within minutes, he's rolling to my house with 6 patrol cars. 6. I guess that's one way to make a statement. They're checking for break-ins, damage, anything. But nope, no broken glass, nothing. Car was locked, keys were in my house. Someone must have towed it. So I start calling around to the tow companies. Third one I tried. Metro Towing tells me, yeah, we picked up a police car from your address at 2:15 this morning. The HOA president ordered it. Said it was abandoned, blocking common area. My own driveway. You gotta laugh, right? I had them on speaker, and my captain's face went from confused to furious in about half a second. He took the phone, let them know, real calm, real cold, that they were now holding stolen government property. Told them to stay put. Police were coming. You could hear the panic on the other end of the line. Next came the real fun. Captain Stevens looks at me, asks, who is this Karen Peterson, anyway? I explained about Tyler's DUI and how she'd been after me ever since. He just nodded, said, this isn't just theft. This is retaliation, obstruction, conspiracy. We're getting everyone involved. We started going door to door, talking to neighbors. 3 saw the tow, truck at 2 in the morning. 1, Mrs. Patterson, even filmed it on her phone, just because, in her words, it felt weird. There's Karen, middle of the night, in her black pants suit, standing in my driveway, pointing at my cruiser like she's running some top-secret op. That video turned out to be gold. Within 2 hours, detectives were interviewing Karen and the rest of the board. All 5, 5, admitted they held a last-minute emergency board meeting and decided on the spot to have my patrol car towed. Said it was legitimate HOA enforcement. Detective Martinez spelled it out for them, slow, like you would for a stubborn toddler. You voted to have a government vehicle towed. You were told it was illegal. You did it because you were mad about a DUI arrest. That's not enforcement. That's a felony. One guy tried to say, "We thought we had authority." Sure you did, pal. Even after I'd shown them the law, sent the policy, told them to their faces, they did it anyway. The whole board was arrested that afternoon. I wish you could have seen their faces, like someone had pulled the rug out from under their feet. Karen? She kept shouting, "I'm the president. I have authority." Captain Stevens just read her the charges: theft of government property, obstruction of justice, criminal conspiracy. I still remember the way he said it, voice flat, ice cold. You have zero authority over police vehicles. Charges were serious, too. The car's worth over 50 grand, fully kitted out. Then obstruction, retaliating against a cop doing his job. And conspiracy, because 5 people sat around and decided to break the law together. 6 months later, we're in court. The evidence? Overwhelming. Tow company records, Mrs. Patterson's video, minutes from their emergency meeting, texts where they talked about teaching that cop a lesson. Karen tried to argue they thought they had authority. The prosecutor? He just pulled out the statute, the emails, everything I'd sent them. Jury took about half a heartbeat to convict. Karen got 5 years in state prison. The others got 3 apiece. Judge told them, straight up, "You targeted a police officer. You endangered public safety. This wasn't overzealous enforcement. This was criminal revenge." Even the tow company got hit. Lost their city contract, insurance went through the roof, settled for 25 grand with the department. The HOA itself? 60 grand in fines and fees. Residents were furious, dissolved the board, started over. For a while, property values dropped. Because, let's be real, who wants to buy a house in the neighborhood where the board got sent to prison for stealing a police car? Tyler, Karen's son, did 6 months for that DUI. Lost his license for 2 years. His mom's stunt just made his life harder, not easier. Funny how that works. Me? I still park my patrol unit in my driveway. The new board actually sent me a letter, welcoming police presence, thanking me for my service. Sometimes I catch myself watching the street at night, thinking about everything that happened. I wonder if Karen, sitting in her cell, ever realizes none of this was about a car. It was about respect for the law, about understanding that your little slice of power doesn't put you above it. And I think about the other 4 board members. How easy it must have been to just go along, to tell themselves it was just enforcement, not personal. They turned a traffic stop into 5 felonies. They learned the hard way. Stealing from police, messing with the law, has a price. Doesn't matter how expensive your suit is or what your title says. You know, my captain tells this story now during training, sort of a cautionary tale. You touch a cop's vehicle, you go to prison. He's not wrong. Karen learned that the hard way. If I could say one thing to anyone out there who finds themselves caught between doing their job and getting pushed around by folks with a little too much power, document everything. Stand your ground. The law's the law. Retaliation isn't just unfair, it's criminal. If you ever face something like this, don't be quiet. Tell someone. So, let me ask you, where do you draw the line between authority and abuse? Have you ever seen someone in power cross it, just because they thought they could get away with it? Drop your story below. I'd love to hear it. Maybe you've tangled with an HOA or had to stand up for yourself when the odds were stacked against you. Either way, I think we all agree karma doesn't miss. And sometimes justice really does drive a black and white sedan.